What is up? 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 Grocknation. Hope everyone's doing well. Enjoyed their weekend like I did, as you guys can see. I enjoyed a very, very, very great concert in Winnipeg, one of my favorite bands of all time. And yeah, it's my birthday week. There's something else to look forward to as well. Guys, we have a fragrance list video tonight in the arcade. We are actually in my green screen arcade. I have my brand new green screen, best green screen I've ever had in my life, set up behind me. And I can do green screen videos again quite comfortably and not make an entire day production out of it. So there is that to look forward to as well in the coming months. Before we get started though, if you guys are new to the channel and you like the video and the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it as well, to help other fragrance lovers and ASMR lovers alike find this video. We are going to be following, not following, but we're going to be listing out essential workplace fragrances and a wide variety and a wide range of jobs, and what I think would be fitting, or what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not fitting, it's appropriate for these type of jobs in these areas. Before I start though, I just want to say, for all my True Detective fans out there, I think there was 3 of you that subbed. I'm not even going to bother with the last review. The video before that only got 30 views, so people really weren't interested in it. You know, the cutting and pasting of all the video clips and everything in those videos, it's a lot of effort for nothing, so we're not going to bother with that. If you were looking forward to that final verdict of that season, it was a very, very fucking disappointing season regardless. But with that being said, guys, let's dig into this list, and let me know down below if I missed a job that maybe you're involved in, and maybe, you know, you'd like some advice and what kind of fragrance would be nice in that particular area. But for now, let's dig in. Like I said, we have a wide range of jobs we're going to cover here. So with that being said, let's go. Okay, so one of the most common workplaces in America and Canada is office work, whether that be in reception or sales, whatever it may be. Basic office work, insurance brokerages, I'm not sure, real estate, offices, things along that nature. Nothing high end, like, you know, stocks and whatnot. We'll discuss that a little later on. That'll be on the higher end of fragrances, but this one's just office work. What would be comfortable around the office? When I get into these fragrances, guys, I'm not going to break down all the notes on all these fragrances. For the most part, they're fragrances we all know and love. I will describe how I feel these fragrances match the environment and why they'd be suitable, you know, for such. I'll touch on a few notes that make them that way, but as far as that is, you know, I've covered most of these, so. But the office, you're in close quarters with many people, men, women, sometimes customers, but this is more so you're just working with coworkers. It's an office, not really working with the public per se. That's going to be another job later on here. But you're going to want to smell pleasant. You're going to want to smell clean. But for the most part, you're just going to want to smell pleasant. You don't want to be known as the guy that stinks around the office, that they all make jokes about behind your back, so to speak, you know. You never know. You don't want to be the stinky guy ever. So, you want a bit of freshness, but not soapy, cleany fresh. That's not what we're going for here. Not super sexy either. That's not appropriate for the office. We're looking for, like, freshly clean, pleasantly smelling. The number one pick I have for us here in this particular job is 2010's Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. A classic. All of these are classics, guys. They're classics. They came out in the 2000s and 2010s. And back then they were called classics. They would become classics, and they are. This is like a timeless fragrance. And for me, it's a fragrance that's meant to be worn in formal situations. I wouldn't wear this every day. I wouldn't wear this everywhere. This is formal. This is for work. This is for maybe you're getting together for, a quick lunch with a friend. I would say weddings, maybe, perhaps there are better options, but formal for that, to make yourself smell fresh and clean. This will do the job. It's a nice aromatic citrus fragrance. There's grapefruit, lemon, nutmeg. It smells so great, and it's always going to be timeless. That's my window right there. If you guys are going, what happened to Grock's arm? That's the window of I'm trying to keep the boom of my mic right here. I'm trying to keep the boom out of the frame. Otherwise it sticks up and it just looks weird. But yeah, very, very, very fresh and clean. And sophisticated. It's a very, very mature fragrance. This is not something I'd recommend like a high school kid wear or even a university kid. This serves a purpose, and I believe that purpose for this particular area in the job class works. The next fragrance is another classic from the 2010s. It's 2015. It is Acqua di Gio Profumo by Giorgio Armani. I'm almost out of this bottle. I haven't worn it in a long time. It is getting dated in terms of wearing it for everywhere. But if you're going to wear it just for the office, just for work, and make that like your signature smell at work. These are signature smells at work. You want people to recognize you as. Maybe they go, okay, this is, Rob in accounting. I gotta go up there and give him some papers. It's not so bad because Rob always smells nice. He smells like Acqua di Gio Profumo, maybe. Or I don't know what that fragrance is that Rob wears, but it smells really, really great. This is more of an aquatic, spicy fragrance. It's aquatic, but it's not. For me, it's not meant for the water. There's other Acqua di Gios that are meant for the water. This one is it's borderline sexy, is what it is. There's something I gotta bring up right now that I'm just realizing because I can't remember the last time I wore this fragrance. We're getting off topic. We are definitely getting off topic. I know I told you guys how qualities of fragrances will change over time, especially if you don't use them as much. Poorer quality fragrances, they go bad. Fragrances will go bad. This smell will change. This I got in 2015, 2016, around there, one of those 2 years. Like I said, it's almost empty. This is starting to not smell like Acqua di Gio Profumo. It still smells good, but it's definitely going bad. And people have asked me that before. Those fragrances have shelf lives. Yes, they do. The more expensive fragrances, the better the quality, the better the juice inside them, the longer they'll last. I guess this one's timeline is a little over 6-7 years. You have to use it within 6 or 7 years. I was actually debating getting another bottle of this, but I figured I had some left and I was going to use it, but now if it's definitely starting to go away. So up next we have one of my all-time favorites. As you guys know, if you've watched this channel quite a bit, it's an aromatic, spicy, woody fragrance. One of my top choices for the summer months. I love wearing this in the summer months. It's Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme. The beautiful gold juice. This is a newer bottle. We were just talking about fragrances going bad. I have a 2007 or 2006 Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme bottle. I still have it. I'm saving it to see how long it'll last. It still smells just like L'Homme. So it shows the quality of this particular fragrance. I'm shocked Aqua di Gio, I'm thinking maybe a Polo or something along those lines. La Lacoste. Maybe they would, start to go bad after only, 7 or 8 years. I'm shocked that, Giorgio Armani fragrance, it's an $80 fragrance, would go bad, that soon. Oh, great, great fragrance. And again, oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. One of my all-time favorites. This and Alteam, which is discontinued by Yves Saint Laurent, are my all-time favorite summery, fresh smelling fragrances. But again, these fragrances, all of them, are very pleasant, and the most important thing is because you're working in such close quarters with people, you're going to be working with people that, are prone to migraines and whatnot, and heavier fragrances will trigger those, and in worst case scenario, I've talked about this before, and people ask me, what fragrances they should buy. I want to buy an expensive niche fragrance. Well, okay, but make sure they're like aromatic, fresh fragrances if it's for work, because nothing worse than, say, you bought an Aventus, you wear it and everyone's like, oh, it smells great, and then there's a dude or a woman at your work that goes, oh my god, that gives me headaches, man. Look, can you stop wearing that fragrance? And eventually, even if you want to be an asshole and be like, well, just don't come near my area, eventually you're going to get talked to by HR or your boss, and you're like, look, you can't wear that, you're giving so-and-so a headache. And then you wasted all that money, right? These fragrances are very safe. You're not going to trigger headaches in anybody with these fragrances. They're nice and they're light, and you will smell fresh and clean around the office, and that's really all that matters. Are they lady killers? I don't know. I would say out of the three, Saint Laurent, it'd probably be the most pleasing to a woman's smell, especially in a workplace. She would really like that. Acqua di Gio, you kind of risk that sexy flair, which could be kind of cringe in a workplace, to be honest with you. That's why I don't wear things like Dior Sauvage, in my work area. Now we're gonna mine, or an industrial plant at a mine, and there's a kid on my crew that wears Dior Sauvage every day. He actually has the body spray for it as well, and he sprays himself down, and it's so out of place. But that's for the office, so that's the first job we're gonna cover in this list, and we're gonna go over a bunch of others, so stick around. But yeah, that's my 3 picks for the office. Like I said, I'm gonna give you guys 2 or 3 options for every job. I figure where they are appropriate. So let's move on. Okay, so next up in our job lists, we are going to be looking at the athletic slash fitness sector, which is of course working in gyms, martial arts studios, etc. Maybe you're a personal trainer, maybe you're a martial arts instructor. The bottom line is you're working around people that are working out a lot, and you're working with people, so people are going to be around you or near you. I talked about this, and these were all listed in my best fragrances for the gym, and they are appropriate for this situation as well. If you're at the gym and you're an instructor, you want to make sure you smell super, super, super clean. Clean is the number one most important thing. You want to make it smell like your clothes you're wearing are straight out of the dryer. You just took a shower before you got to the gym. Those kind of things. You should have a very, very, very wide range of aromatic, fruity fragrances. A little bit of wood, spicy wood in there. One of them for sure out of this group I have for you guys is. But I would say, yeah, let's get that one out of the way first. That one that has a little bit of spicy wood in it. It's got a sandalwood as well, which gives it more of that masculine scent. It's Allure Homme Sport. Homme Sport. Eau Extreme. I actually used to wear the original non-Eau Extreme version of this when I was wrestling in grade 12. It's always a memory I have of wrestling in my senior year, and it was the same thing. I just wanted to make sure I always smelled super fresh and super clean. Oh yeah, yeah. There's grapefruit in here as well. It's a very, very, very nice, clean, fresh scent that is very meant for the gym. Like, you probably could get away with this in the office. We just talked about an office scenario, fresh and clean. but it's more energetic, if I could say. I actually brought this up before and told you guys this in the next fragrance I'm going to show you. If you put this on, say you have a really, really great sleep, and you wake up in the morning, you got a solid 7-8 hours. Some of us that can actually get that, and you just feel great. Maybe you don't shower that morning. Maybe you're someone like myself who has to shower the night before. I work in a mine, like I told you guys. I shower right after work, and I go home, sleep, and I go straight to work. But regardless, you spray this on yourself, you're gonna smell so fresh and clean. You're gonna feel like you just had a really, really good, clean, soapy shower, and it kind of gives you that bit of energy. That's how you're gonna feel. You're gonna feel like $1,000,000. You put this on in the morning, and you're gonna smell amazing around the gym, working with clients, especially if you're in close quarters, working with people, showing people how to do workouts, or in my case, back in my day, teaching people Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing. I had to be in real close quarters with these people, and I wanted to always make sure I smelled good, especially when it comes to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, especially when it came to training with women in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, that's a really good option. This next one is probably my favorite. If I were training mixed martial arts today, this would be my fragrance I would actually have and be wearing all the time. So Hugo Boss Unlimited. A ton of fruity fragrances in here. There's grapefruit. What else is in here? I'm trying to think of that leaf. There's a really earthy smell to this. Like not so much like oh my god, green Irish tweed. Sorry, I was thinking of the really nice expensive green fragrance I have. Oh man, sweet leaf. That's what it's called. Sweet leaf. There's lemon. Like I said, pretty sure there's grapefruit in here. You can really smell that lemon though. Yeah, really, really, really fresh, really, I almost said sexy, but it's not. Really clean fragrance. This almost smells like dryer lint. I know maybe that might not sound appealing to you, but that's almost what this smells like. A fresher version of dryer lint, and like I said, just like Oh Extreme. This one, you put this on in the morning, you're gonna be energized. It's a real energy boosting fragrance. In that way, you're gonna feel super fresh and clean. I do love to wear this on morning shifts when I go into work sometimes, because it's these fragrances, these office fragrances, and these fragrances particularly here for the gym are easy signature fragrances if you really wanted to make them your own, because you can wear them every single day, everywhere. Just that these are really more fitting to, like, being in a gym, working out, going for a run, lifting some weights. You know, maybe you're going to a boxing gym and you're going to hit some pads with your trainer, or have me hold the pads for you, and I smell like that, and you go, man, hitting mitts with Grock is a real, treat. He smells so great, that kind of thing is what I'm going for in these lists. Best possible scenario, best possible cases people think when they smell these fragrances on you. The next one, and the last one of this main group, I actually got a real cheap group next after this one, and I'm actually disappointed. It's kind of scraping off. I got Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. Again, another aromatic, fruity, oh, it's really dirty. Again, I haven't worn this one in a long time. Fragrance. It doesn't have the same effect as Oh Extreme and Unlimited, in that you put this on in the morning, right? When you go to work, you're not going to smell super fresh and clean, but it does have that nice aromatic, fresh notes to it. It's more aquatic than the other two for sure. There's actual water notes in here. Grapefruit is in here as well. Lemon. You see, these are kind of common themes in these gym fragrances, these workout fragrances, gym environment fragrances. And again, all three of these would be perfect. Like I said, maybe you're a personal instructor, maybe you're a martial arts coach, maybe you're an assistant, maybe you're an equipment manager at a gym, something part-time. These smell amazing. All these fragrances would be amazing if you work at a gym and or if you go to a gym. Maybe you go to a gym before work or right after work, and you want to make sure you don't smell so bad. Those three would be amazing fragrances to pick up, and they're all roughly the same price, $80 to $100. Good quality. The Oak Stream, obviously, like I said, it's a little heavier than the other two. It does have some woody notes into it. It's got tonka bean as well, so it is a little heavier. The other two are more aromatic and light. Great summer fragrances, all three of them. So I got a couple extra fragrances here that I think would be more budget friendly, I think, for you guys, if you guys wanted to maybe just pick something up and just maybe chuck in your gym bag and it wouldn't be that big of an issue. They're both relatively cheap, although this one I just bought for nostalgic purposes was around $60, $70. I can't remember, but I did get the bigger bottle. That's Lacoste Essential. If you get the smaller bottle, you can actually get this for around $30. This is a fragrance, I'd say, especially if you got the smaller one. If you want to just throw this in your gym bag, as long as you're not leaving your gym bag in a hot car and you're going to cook this, it's perfectly fine to leave in a gym bag. It's not going to break your bank. It does the trick. It's nice and fresh. Oh man, so good. It just brings back memories of training. I used to wear this all the time when I trained mixed martial arts. Anytime, if you would have been back in a gym back in the day when I was training mixed martial arts, teaching, and you were in my class, this is what it would have smelled like. A great aromatic aqua-like fragrance, and very, very cheap. Very old too. I think it's a 2004, 2005 fragrance, so it's a bit dated in that sense. You can get it at most like Walmart's, Walgreens. Like I said, it's not a high-end fragrance. The next fragrance as well is very, really cheap. I think I got this one, and I got it again for nostalgia purposes. How are these fragrances so dirty? Maybe it's because since I moved, I haven't touched them. I literally bought this one for fragrances in my life, by the way. Hugo Boss Man. Again, been around forever. Been around since the mid-2000s. Oh my goodness, maybe 2004, I think. I don't know what this red sticky stuff is on here. It's almost like it's candy or syrup or something. But regardless, it's a very fresh green fragrance. Green apple is in here. I had this when I was in grade 11. It's got a little cap attached to a little belt. I always say it looks very youthful. Maybe it's because I was a teenager when I had this. I wasn't a big fan of it when I was a teenager. Yeah, it's a very green, appley, fresh fragrance. Very, very cheap fragrance, though. Like I said, you want to buy this brand new, this exact size bottle. It's about $40. And again, any Walmart, any Shoppers, Walgreens. You don't need to look in a high-end fragrance shop to get that. You know, it's a far, far, far fetch between that and Hugo Boss Unlimited. You'd have to look for this in a really good fragrance shop / outlet. But yeah, these are great choices, you guys, if you work in the athletic department or the athletic sector, gym sector. I'm not sure what it, but if you work in that kind of area, these are really, really good options for you. Definitely check them out. None of these are going to really break the bank. They're really safe buys. If you work in a gym and you wanted to buy any one of these, just blindly buy them. They'll definitely get the job done. You'll probably recognize some of them. But that's going to be it for that job. Let's move on to our next, which is a very common job. I think a lot of people on here are going to be interested in. So let's get into that. Okay, so for this next job, we're actually going to break it into two parts because technically it's in the same sector, which is service. We're going to do restaurant service and we're going to do bottle service. Restaurant service is like your waitering, and bottle service like your bartending. Both service jobs, but they're both, for the most part, vastly different environments and such. You should be using different fragrances for both jobs. The first we're going to discuss is waitering in a restaurant, maybe like a Keg or a Moxie's or something like that, along those lines, a Montana's, anything, right? This first fragrance I'm going to suggest is, I would say, more for a classier restaurant, a nice steakhouse. It's a nice classic smelling fragrance. It is Stronger With You by Emporio Armani. It's a very warm, spicy, nutty fragrance. Chestnuts in here. There's vanilla in here as well. Very, very sexy fragrance. Very, very good for date nights without coming off too sexy, I would say. If I ever make an updated date night video, fragrances, this is probably going to be on that list for one of those scenarios. Great smelling fragrance. Oh, so good, so good. It's a really, really, really great cool weather fragrance. Otherwise, if you're going to wear it outside of, a job, but this would smell amazing. Those of us that have worked in the service industry, like myself, I was a waiter as a teenager in Churchill and here. You know that a lot of it's presentation. Your interactions with the customers, knowing when to see them, when to back away. And part of the presentation is how you smell. I always smelled amazing because I have always loved fragrances as far back as a teenager. So I always smelled very pleasant. I made sure of that. So that's a really good option. Another one I'm going to give you guys here is, this one actually could be worn in bottle service. Ooh, I caught it. The cap opened. Could actually be worn in the bottle service industry as well, but these are so dirty. Some of them that I haven't worn since the move, they just got so dirty. I used to always clean them. Mont Blanc Legend. We covered Spirit in the gym athletic sector. Mont Blanc is the original. Spirit is the flaker, and it's more of a sexier, fresh fragrance. Yeah, very sexy, clean, peppery. I don't know how else to say that. Almost soapy, which would normally not be what I would go for waitering. But it's pleasant. It's very, very pleasant. And it's very mature and sexy as well, but not overly sexy. Cassette Dior Sauvage is not here. Spoiler alert. That is not a fragrance you would wear in a restaurant. You would smell way too much. This one you would smell pleasant. And you'd smell pleasant, clean, and a little bit of sexy. So a really, really nice restaurant. This would be good to work into. I don't know if I would wear this in I just mentioned Montana's or something. Along those lines, like a rib house. Maybe a really nice steakhouse. Really decent menu. A lot of people bring their dates on. It'll enhance the experience for them, I would think. This next fragrance is my last one I have for bottle service or restaurant service. I got a lot for bottle service. This is another one that can be worn in a bottle service industry as well. As to restaurant service, it's Gucci Guilty. It's a sexier fragrance, but it's more earthy, like green. It's like a green fragrance. It's floral, is what it is. You can really smell the earthy floral notes in here, but it's fresh and it's a sexy as well, which is what you want. You want to give off that nice, clean, enhance the experience kind of mode. If you're in a really nice restaurant, and a waiter comes up to you and he serves both of you, and you smell this as he's walking by, you're really gonna think, oh my goodness, this place is so fancy. The servers smell great here. The food must be good, and yeah. And a lot of these things, like fragrances in this job particularly, you're looking to get tips. You're looking to enhance the experience so that you get paid a little extra on a side. You and the kitchen staff, everyone will appreciate it. And like I said, this will enhance the experience for people dining out. Trust me, it does for me. Actually, last weekend we were at the Keg for Valentine's Day, so last Wednesday. And the server that served us was wearing Black Orchid perfume. Oh, it smelled so good. And I know it was Black Orchid because my fiance wanted it. But we got her the other one because that one wasn't available at the shoppers we were looking at. But it smelled so good, and I was convinced. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get her a bottle of this because it smells fucking amazing. So I have 4 more here. 5 more. And, let's go over the one I think you could wear in the restaurant service as well. This is the hybrid out of all of them. I would say you can wear it in both. Ralph's Club by Ralph Lauren. Again, a super sexy, I keep hitting my boom, sorry about that. Super sexy, clean fragrance. It's almost identical to Mont Blanc Legend. The difference is it's a tad bit sexier. It has that exact same, almost some Braxton smell, that nice soapy, clean smell, but it's sexy as well. Which is, if it wasn't for that, this would be a fresh fragrance. This would be a fragrance you could wear, like, at the office or, just out and about. It could be a signature. Maybe even the gym, I would say. It could be the difference between Mont Blanc and Mont Blanc Legend and Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. Because, like I said, this smells exactly like Mont Blanc Legend. I even said that when I reviewed this. It's exactly like Mont Blanc Legend. I will say that it smells so good. I will say that it does perform better than Mont Blanc Legend. It is actually more expensive. And I can't believe I'm saying this because it's a polo fragrance. It's actually worth it. It's probably their best fragrance they've made in years. It's got a nice little bottle. We're not reviewing the fragrance, though. We're just reviewing the smells for the jobs. Great. Wear this in both. You can wear this at the bar, and you can wear this serving tables. Both of them. So the first fragrance we're going to look at is tobacco flavored fragrance, and it is fucking fabulous by Tom Ford. My bottle that's almost gone on me. There's tobacco in here. There's vanilla. It's a very, very. Oh, it smells so good. There's leather in there as well. It's a very, very, very good cool weather fragrance, but it's sexy too, though. Like, this is sexy. I would love to go to a bar and have this smell in the air that I'm not wearing. And if I know it's coming from the waiter or the bartender, myself as a fragrance man, I'll be like, oh man, you're wearing fucking fabulous. That's awesome. He's gonna be like, yeah, I like this. I'll be like, no, it's an awesome fragrance. Awesome. All right, here's my drink. Here's $1 tip. This smells good. Thank you for helping make this place smell better, and it enhances the experience more. It smells so fucking good. I don't know how much I have in here. I really can't see. It smells just quite a, or it feels just quite a bit. Again, it's a fragrance I only wear for like going out in the summer months and or winter month fragrances. It's like more of a winter fragrance, but it would be really, really amazing in a bar for a bartending situation. Up next is pretty close in terms of the same attitude we're getting, and that's Hugo Boss. Oh my goodness, which one is this one called? What the hell is this one called? I was gonna say I think it's just Boss Bottled, but it's Boss Bottled Parfum. Oh, super. Oh my goodness. It smells almost identical to fucking fabulous. There's no leather in this though, but exactly the same, like DNA. Oh my god, it smells so good. One of the best performing cool weather / winter fragrances I own. Man, I spray this on myself in the morning on a 12-hour shift, and I can smell it at the end of the shift in the back of my ears. Yeah, super sexy fragrance. Amazing fragrance. If you were to wear it at the bar, for sure, I guarantee you'd have girls complimenting you. It smells very familiar, though. Does it smell? My room's gonna stink. No, it smells like one of these fragrances, guys. Bear with me. Oh my god, this room's gonna reek. Oh, it smells almost exactly like Ralph's Club. Almost exactly, like the exact same DNA. I really can't smell a difference here. Almost got it in my eyes. I have to look at the notes. Let's compare notes. Okay, it turns out there's lavender and wood notes in both. There's figs in Boss Bottle, which you can really make out and smell. But that's really the only difference. They smell almost identical. Oh my god. I need some coffee beans or something. My smell's completely messed up. The next two fragrances you can wear, obviously, at the bar are club fragrances, bar fragrances. First up is Versace Eros. I would go with Eau de Parfum. I always like this one more. Exact same notes as the EDP, or sorry, the EDT, the toilette, but this one has candy apple in it, and it gives it that little bit of a unique twist. Oh, so sexy. Sexy and clean, which is exactly what you're looking for if you're going to be working in that sector and serving customers, especially girls. Women love this fragrance, especially at the club. That's why it's such a favorite among young people, going out and clubbing. Been around a while. I know the last time I was at a bar, which actually was in town, which isn't saying much, about a year and a half ago, I definitely smelled someone wearing the EDT version of it. Here's what's fucked up. And I remember I said this before when I was reviewing this a couple years back. Someone got mad in the comments. This is the Parfum. It doesn't perform as good as the toilette. And I owned a bottle of the toilette the very first time I went to Europe in 2015. And I wore that bottle the entire trip. And I would smell on my clothes 2 or 3 days later. It smelled amazing. This, I find, doesn't last nearly as long, although I prefer the smell to the toilette. Super great bar fragrance. And the next one is one of my favorite clubbing fragrances. I went out to, was that 2 years ago? Yeah, it was 2 years ago. I went to a gay bar for New Year's Eve in Winnipeg, and I wore this guy, Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. Super fruity, sexy, smelly fragrance. It just smells so delicious and sexy. Really smells like sexy grape. I don't know how else to say it. That's the best way to describe this. This would be really good if you're a really playful bartender. You like to play, maybe dance with the girls while you're doing drinks and whatnot, being the flirty type. I always say this fragrance is for the extroverted person. It's not for an introvert. This is going to draw attention. If you're wearing this and you're going to the club, you should be going on a dance floor for sure. And if you're wearing this in bartending, you should definitely be extroverted and talking to as many people as you can, because it's such a unique smell in the club. I don't know how common it is in clubs now, but I was the only person wearing it at that club that night. Is that all I have? Yeah, those are all the fragrances I have for the service industry, guys. Again, that's for both bottle service and just restaurant service. Yeah, it's crazy. I never realized how similar Boss Bottled and Ralph's Club smell. I kind of feel like I shouldn't have bought Ralph's Club, because Boss Bottles, it's like, out of the two of them, it's the better one. And they basically smell the same, but that's something else. Alright, so we're going to be moving on to our next job, guys. Let's get into that right now. Okay, so up next we're going to be looking at our, I'm not sure what, not construction workers, but outside workers. And that could be construction, that could be maybe you're laying fiber optic cables, maybe you're an outside electrician for like a hydro company, something along those lines. You work outside, primarily. So I got 4 fragrances. I'm gonna cover 2 fragrances each for each season. I think you should be wearing while you're working outside, because you can't wear both. You can't wear one fragrance while working in the winter and the same fragrance working in the summer. They just don't mix. So with that being said, we'll cover winter first. What I think will be a really good fragrance to be wearing in the winter months. Maybe if you don't get winter where you're from, but like cool weather. Maybe your winters are just cooler weather. In which case I would say these would still work for cooler weather. Although this one we're going to look at first is made for extreme cold. Every time I see hydro workers, Manitoba hydro workers, up on their hydro poles, whether they're working on something, replacing something, out in minus 40 weather, I always think, if I had to do that job, be an electrician and whatnot, and be working out on power lines, minus 40, minus 50 all day long. My coworkers that are women and men, I think I would spray this on my jacket, and it would be suffice. Victor and Rolf's Spice Bomb Extreme. This is a lavender tobacco vanilla fragrance. Super, super, super spicy. I've worn it 4 or 5 times. Oh, so spicy. 4 or 5 times this winter alone. It's a great, great, great cold weather monster. Man, it smells good. It smells smoky. It smells so damn good. Excellent for working outside, whether it be, like I said, in the construction industry, like I just mentioned, or the electrical industry, line working, construction work, etc. Even if you worked outside in like a ski lodge, maybe you work at you repair ski lifts, or you work in a bar at a ski lodge, maybe in a Banff or an Aspen or something, this would be a great fragrance to wear in cold weather on the outside. Spray it on your jacket. I always spray it on my winter jacket, and it does the trick. It's really, really, really great. This next fragrance actually performs amazing for the house it belongs to. It belongs to John Varvatos. This is XX Artisan, the 2020 fragrance. Again, in terms of visual quality, John Varvatos fragrances are second to none. They're such nice bottles. They always have this nice weave and the wooden bottom. This is again another really, really spicy, burnt orange-like smell. I don't know how else to say. It's a sexy, warm fragrance for sure. Yeah, you can really smell that burnt orange. Oh my goodness. Amazing for outside in a cold weather. I've actually worn it, I think, 3 or 4 times this winter alone to work in my industry. When it's cooler, it smells really great. And like I said, it performs like a fucking monster. This will stay on your jacket all day long in the winter months, no matter where you work. But it's again really great for cool evenings as well. I would wear this to the, for drinks to the lounge, my friends, in the summertime for sure. It's definitely doable. So now we're going to go to the summer months, outside summer months. I've tried to avoid aquatic fragrances because, we're going to cover one that's going to require aquatic fragrances. But this one's not so aquatic. It's aromatic with some aquatic notes, and it is Mont Blanc Explorer Ultra Blue. The reason I bought it last May, I think it was, when my dog was in the city, he was at the vet, is because it didn't smell as aquatic. Yeah, it's like almost like a more aromatic version of the Mont Blanc Explorer. They smell really similar in that sense, but yeah, it smells more aquatic, more aromatic. Not fruitier, but just aromatic. There is a little bit of aquaticness to it as well, but not a straight out like Aquamarine by Bulgari or something like that. But yeah, a really pleasant outdoor summer fragrance. That's not like hanging out. You could be doing work, spraying that on your clothes, maybe on your work vest or whatever it may be while you're working outside. That'll smell really good. Same thing with this one here, Acqua di Parma, Colonia Pura, sorry. A really, really, really spicy aromatic fragrance. Oh, so good. So damn good. This is crazy good. If you're working outside in the summer months, you'll smell so good. You'll smell so fresh. You'll smell so summery. I don't know how else to explain it. It's not sexy. It smells clean, and I don't know how. Like if you're having a really hot, sweaty day, maybe you're a little self-conscious about, the heat, and maybe, you're worried your armpits might be smelling or something along those nature. I talked about this in my gym fragrance videos. Most people that think their armpits smell, their armpits actually don't smell. Most people's armpits don't smell. But regardless, maybe you're feeling a little self-conscious. You spray this on yourself, on your clothes, and you're always going to smell super clean and fresh, even in a hot heat. And that's what this list is about. Fragrances that are appropriate for those areas. That would be really, really good on a really hot day, working out in the sun all day. A little more expensive than the other ones I've shown so far in this list of all these fragrances, but definitely worth the money. One of my favorite summer fragrances for sure. Alright, so that's going to be for this outside construction sector. I know I could go through a lot more of these, but these are like the main ones. If you guys work in this industry as well and you got something else, maybe let me know down below. But yeah, that's what we're going to cover for this. So we're going to move on to our next job. Okay, up next is something a lot of people do. Whether for a job or they do it on their own with the Uber app. We're going to be discussing car service. Now, car service, a lot like the bottle industry and the service industry, especially Uber drivers, a lot of it relies on tips. Now, a lot of Uber drivers, they buy expensive vehicles, and then, after their work hours, they put 4 hours into Uber driving, and to help pay off that vehicle. I know a lot of people that do it, and a lot of them buy really nice luxury cars, Teslas, etc. And it's all about presentation when you're in a situation like that. So you want to, dress nice. If I were to do that in a city and I were to buy a nice light luxury car, a Mercedes, a BMW, a Tesla, I'd wear a nice dress shirt, dress pants. I make sure my car is super, super clean. And I would make sure I smelled amazing and very pleasant for the drive. I might as well get this out of the way. The first fragrance for sure is going to be one of the most expensive fragrances we're talking about here. Definitely the most expensive so far. I debated putting this in the office list, but most people can't afford this, as this is a $300 bottle. This is Parfums de Molly Layton. If you go into someone's Uber, me, and they smelled like Layton, oh my god, and it was a clean car, and it was a very pleasant driver. Maybe didn't talk too much, didn't talk too little, just enough. Answered questions about maybe the city you're in and whatnot, and I smelled this. I'm gonna leave him a tip, just for presentation alone. Man, this is one of the best smelling fragrances in the world, let me tell you. It's such a pleasant, sexy, fresh fragrance, I guess you could say. Not sexy in the go to the club kind of deal, like not a Sauvage or something. Sexy in a very sophisticated way, a very classy way, I guess you could say. If I were to see this on a celebrity, I think I would see this on a Ryan Reynolds. Put Ryan Reynolds in a nice suit, very, very extroverted, classy looking guy for sure. I wouldn't put this on Machine Gun Kelly or something along those lines. No, this is more sophisticated, sexy, fresh. Oh my god. Yeah, if you're going to be running Uber and you want to enhance the smell, that is an amazing fragrance to have your car smell like. I would say if you really wanted to spend the money and really make sure your experience with passengers are going to be amazing in terms of scents, I would actually buy Layton and I would buy Pegasus and I would wear them throughout the year, just the two of them. That would be it. That'd be the only fragrance I'd own. I'd wear Layton in the summer months and during the day, and I'd wear Pegasus in the winter months and during the evenings if I decide to drive in the evenings. They're just both so crazy good. The next fragrance is a really, really fresh, soapy, clean, pleasant scent, which you would want to smell in a car, whether it be a cab or an Uber. Prada L'Homme. It's so unique. It's got iris in it that not a lot of fragrances have, and it's got that really fresh, clean scent on top of it. this last year or 2 years ago, my gym list. I almost put this in there because it's got that same kind of DNA. But no, this is more so if I ever make a signatures list, a new one. Signature fragrance is one fragrance to buy where you can wear everywhere. Prada L'Homme would definitely be in there. It's very pleasant, very neutral, and like I said, that iris gives it that soapy, almost like a Braxton. I think a Braxton is in here. Scent. Very, very clean, and like I said, it's almost like it's not like a car freshener or something like that. Not along those lines, clean, but similar for sure. A lot of these soapy fragrances, soapy clean fragrances do have that dryer lint / car freshener smells to them. That one's no different, but don't let that turn you off. It's a very, very, very pleasant smell. Up next is arguably one of the best smelling fragrances in the world. Most times you have a customer in your car, whether you're a cab driver, an Uber driver, the drive's no more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes. This is a fragrance I would keep in my car while I'm driving, and I would apply it every hour on the hour because it performs so piss poor, but it's a beautiful fragrance. This is Baccarat 1 Million, the Gold Bar, one of the nicest smelling fragrances in the world. Unfortunately, it lasts about an hour and then it's completely gone. Oh my god. Oh man, if this performed even half as much better as it does, this would be one of my all-time favorite fragrances. Just smell-wise, it is, for sure. It's up there. I mean, I've only ever used this much, and I've had this bottle since like 2012. It does not last at all. But like I said, in a ride like that, you get into an Uber or a cab and it smells like this, you're gonna be like, holy shit, that smells good. And you're only gonna be there for 10-15 minutes anyway, so it don't matter if you're not spending the day with the guy, so you're not gonna notice that it's gone after an hour, right? And yeah, you're likely gonna leave a tip because on top of everything else, it was a great smelling car. So those are 3 fragrances I would suggest if you're in that work environment, the car service environment, whether it be Uber or cab driving, limo driving even. So let's move on to our next job. Alright, so if you're one of those lucky people that works at the beach, in or around water, anything like that, lucky you. But I do have some fragrances for you guys. My friend Louis actually just came back from Costa Rica, and I didn't know he was going, and he messaged me afterwards, say, well, I brought Mont Blanc Leaded Spirit. What should I have brought? And I told him, God, you should have told me. There's so many, budget-friendly fragrances I could have told you to get, and, you would have smelled perfect in those areas. A lot of these work in that environment as well. This one, I would say, if you're working, I picture you working as a lifeguard at a beach, at the ocean. My God, dream job, especially as a young guy. If you were a young guy, oh my God, I couldn't imagine. We just talked about this fragrance actually, because I made a reference to it. This is Aquamarine by Bulgari. This odd pill, it's such an inconvenient thing to store in my cabinet. Super, super, super aquatic fragrance. It smells like salt water. Oh my God. I always say this smells the way you would picture a Disney ocean smelling like. If you could smell a Disney ocean, those big bright colors. Amazing, amazing. Probably one of the best aquatic fragrances in terms of just straight up aquatic scents. Yeah, if you were to do that, work in the area where you're a lifeguard on a beach like that, this would be really, really great. You'd smell so, so good. Everyone would love the way you smelled, and again, be one of those things that would enhance the experience for people, and you'd fit the place. You couldn't wear this waitering in New York City or something. It just wouldn't work. This is meant for the beach. It's meant for the beach. It's meant to be on the beach. all day long, out in the sun. Um, yeah, that'd be a good fragrance to wear. A situation like that. This next one would work in a beach, like lifeguard. Um, that doesn't necessarily have to be like a lifeguard, guys. Like obviously, you could work at a beach, cleaning a beach, beach maintenance. Maybe summer job. Constructing shacks at the beach, something along those lines. This next one is along those same lines, but it could be like working for parks in Canada, at lakes in the summertime, and just being outside and around water all the time. It's one of my favorite summer fragrances. This is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. Oh, I love this. I've had this bottle for 4 years now. Again, that's how much I've only used, but I only wear it in summer months. Oh, I can smell it already. So good. So damn good. Yes, if you're working outside around water, whether it be a lake or an ocean, whatever it may be, a lifeguard, beach maintenance, you're working for parks, somewhere along those lines. Great fragrance, and again, you would fit the job, smelling like this. You would expect a lifeguard to smell like this, or Aquamarine by Bulgari. You would just expect it, and it'd be a pleasant surprise if you were a Smell of Parks employee. At your local lake, smelling like that as well. He would smell really great. This next fragrance is you're working at like a bar, whether it's bottle service or it's just service. You're working at a bar at a beach. I always picture like one of those little hut restaurants they have all along the beaches in Hawaii's. This fragrance would really fit, that type of job. There's two of them actually, but this is the better out of the two of them in my opinion. John Bravado's Artisan. This one is Aqua Artisan. The original Artisan is really good as well, but it's more soapy. This one I like because it's more sexy. Like I said, this one is more for beach service or bottle service. Maybe, oh, it smells so good. Maybe you go to, Cuba, Mexico, whatever it may be, and they got those little huts at the beach where you can, grab some booze. The server there, smelling like this, would really fit. And again, enhance the experience. A lot of these fragrances and these jobs that I'm suggesting will enhance experiences for people. If you're working in the public, that is. And more so, get you tips or recognition that would lead to you getting tips. That's one of those examples. For sure. The other two, not so much. You're not going to tip a lifeguard or anything, but that one in the service industry, yeah, it's going to enhance it, just like driving for Uber, just like waitering, bottle service or restaurants, all sorts of things. But yeah, that's going to be it for those, or that job as well. We're going to move on to, how many jobs do I have left now? I have 2 left, or 1. We're going to move on to our next job anyway. So let's get into that. Alright, so our last job we're going to cover is high-end officing. That could mean like working stocks, like a Wall Street. Maybe you're in an agency. You work with, athletes, celebrities, social media personalities, whatever it may be. The point is you're around a lot of people that are richer than you, I guess you could say. You're around a lot of rich people. Maybe you sell high-end real estate, whatever it may be. You want to kind of smell the part. And in order to smell the part, you gotta look the part, so to speak. You're gonna have to spend some money. So I got 2 fragrances here that are very expensive, and they will impress, especially if these people know what fragrances are. On top of that, they smell fucking amazing. You're gonna impress anybody. One of them is my most complimented fragrances of all time, and one of my favorites of all time, as you guys know, the beautiful smoky pineapple of Creed Aventus. This is a 100ml bottle, and I spent just a little over $400 on this. So, yeah, it's not cheap. And like I said, if you're looking to impress, especially, like I said, maybe you're a real estate person and you're selling $1 million home, and you have people coming over, look at them that are millionaires, you smell like this, they're gonna be impressed. Oh, god damn. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've sprayed Creative Endus on this channel and didn't get that reaction. My god, the greatest smell in the world, I think. Sorry. The sexiest smell in the world, by far. Yeah, you word that, you know, like I said, real estate, maybe you word, your stock job in the offices, you know, everyone's gonna know you smell amazing, they're gonna wanna know what you smell, what fragrance you own, they're gonna either try to one-up you or buy the exact same thing. Up next is even more expensive, and it is Elysium by Russia Parfums, which I can't even get into the notes here if I wanted to, you guys, it's like a book. But again, this was almost $500, and it was gonna happen eventually. Oh, yeah. Oh my god, it's sexy, but it's fresh. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. Like I said, pricey, and you're gonna impress people, especially if you're trying to impress rich people. This will definitely do it. This will be a good conversation starter, and they'll feel a little more at ease. And or maybe you are. Maybe you're one of these rich people, and you want to smell good around, you know, your coworkers or your clients. This stuff works as well. So, yeah, those are dressed to impress like fragrances, which I wouldn't suggest on anybody that doesn't have a lot of money, which is why I bring them up on this list only. I personally would love to wear Creative Endus every single day of my life if I could afford it. I'd have to buy a bottle every 9 months roughly if I wore it every day, and that'd be a $400 bill every 9 months. But like I said, if I was driving a cab or something, I think I would love to wear that as well. That would definitely garner you attention. It would probably lead to garnering tips as well, because you would, again, like I said, enhance the experience. But that's going to be the list for now, guys. Oh, I had a couple more I wanted to go over, like working in hospitals, but maybe if this video is popular enough, I can make more work lists down the line. And let me know if I missed a job maybe you do as well that you want me to cover, or maybe suggest for the next video. But with that being said, guys, I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day, great night, whatever it may be, and peace out.